Thank you, Mr. Chair. How much time do we have? We are supposed to adjourn,
I will
suspend.
tell you what time.
Thank you. Thank you,
Go ahead.
Mr. Chair. Tama ho yun. Marami po akong tanong. So, I'll just maximize until when we need to stop. Opo. Attorney,
Actually have more than 25 minutes unless somebody comes out. So go ahead.
thank you,
Make
Mr.
our
Chair.
day.
Attorney Argusino, I respect your feelings and emotions because I know exactly what it feels to be falsely charged. But I don't think I can commiserate with you now dahil hindi pa ho ako kumbinsido na inosente kayo sa usapin na to. Pero ang nakakainis na naman po sa stance nyo is that kayong dalawa ni Attorney Robles, you were caught red-handed, so to speak, and then meron sinasabi ka po kanina na at least ngayon kami nagbibuild ng case against Mr. Lam, Jack Lam, dahil yung previous administration, hindi ho ginawa yan. Pwede ho ba iwasan natin yan na binabaliktad nyo palagi ang mga kwento nyo? Wag po kayong gaya-gaya sa dati nyong boss na you know, banat, bawi, na hindi muna sigurado sa mga sinasabi.
President Trump?
No, sir.
What are you talking about?
I'm referring to the Secretary of Justice.
Ah, okay.
That's their former boss. Babaliktarin nyo yung kwento sa bilibid drug trade. Ako yung nag-raid, binaliktad. Ito na naman, kayo yung nahuli. And then isisisi nyo sa previous administration. And when you talk about previous administration, you are certainly also, I think, implying that the former Secretary of Justice is somewhat remiss. But I'm not gonna belabor on that because of the lack of time. Now, punta po tayo sa November 26. But before that, tama ho siya, Chair, Senator Gordon. Common denominator po, mga bedans tayo. Pangulo, Present Secretary of Justice, former Secretary of Justice, kayo rin po. Nakakahiya ho talaga ngayon sa institusyon natin na ganyan ang nangyayari. Now, it's either both of you are too stupid or too corrupt. Stupid. May daladalang bags. At alam nyo naman yan, the CCTVs in that particular area are all over. You will play along just because yung sinasabi nyong iimbestigahan na wala naman talaga kayong authority to investigate or to corrupt. You have to convince us that it's not the second. Between too corrupt and too stupid, I don't know which one you would choose. Doon po tayo sa November 26. Yung nag-meet po kayo doon sa Shangri-La sa Bonifacio Global City. Doon po kayo, Attorney Argusino, when Sombero allegedly made the implied bribery offer to the Secretary of Justice? You were there, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And yung sinasabing implied bribery offer from Sombero, representing Jack Lam, who was also there, ay yung maghahanap ng bagong padrino dahil matagal-tagal na nagkaroon siya ng so-called padrino. Narinig niyo po yon?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ano po ba yung immediate reaction ni Secretary Aguirre?
Tinabi niya po ni Sombero nung latter part na po, Your Honor. Kaya bigla ho siyang napatayo.
So,
Nagsimula ho siya doon sa discussion na gusto magpa-release ng then magbabayad daw.
kasi
si
sabi
Jack
po,
Lam ng-
the Secretary of Justice was just there about 10 minutes or so.
That's correct.
So medyo
Your Honor.
sandali lang.
That's correct.
Pero yung pala yung nangyari, there is this implied bribery offer. Naghahanap ng so-called bagong padrino dahil matagal-tagal na. So sa tingin niyo po, based sa reaction ni Secretary Aguirre, he felt insulted? Did he manifest his displeasure In front of you, in front of Sumbero, in front of Jack Lam?
Yun ho yung tingin ko po sa kanya nung panahon na yan, Your Honor. Na-offend po siya.
Na-offend siya.
Yet,
And certainly that was your exact feeling, Secretary Aguirre, correct? You felt insulted.
Yes, Mr. Chair. I know where the conversation is going, so this is against my principle, so I stood up. Sabi ko sa kanilang ganyan, wala tayong pinag-usapan. As a matter of fact, before I left, I said very clearly, do not corrupt my people.
Narinig po nila yan.
If you want to continue this conversation, narinig po ng lahat yan.
Narinig po nila yan.
Narinig po nila lahat yan. Yung nandun sa loob ng kwarto.
At sinabi nyo nga po, makulit daw po itong si Mr. Sumbero. Totoo ba yun? Sinundan pa kayo sa elevator?
Hanggang paglabas po ng function room, sinundan po kami sa elevator. The ground floor was teeming with bedans. At hanggang hindi kami nakakating ng elevator, ay paulit-ulit po niyang sinasabi na pumayag na akong magninong bilang Secretary of Justice. Kasi matagal-tagal na raw walang ninong si Jack Lam, siguro. Because at that time, we were only 4 months in the office. So siguro yung kanyang 4 months matagal-tagal na.
Meron na naman ho ba kayong ini-imply niyan? Ingat po kayo dyan. But I will not gonna ask you that because of lack of time. Maybe next time. Ganon kayo binabaliktad nyo palagi
Hindi po. Kasi yun ang sabi sa akin, matagal na.
Matagal-tagal na.
Matagal-tagal na. 4 months.
Before it blossoms into something else that we do not want, I would suggest that the gentle lady, who is a dear friend of mine, make haste,
Thank you. Thank you. Kung ganun ho, na nainsulto kayo, dahil alam nyo nga ho, na may pararating, o iba ang, na merong pararatingan yung usapin na yon na naghahanap ng bagong padrino, allegedly, ay bakit ho nagbilin kayo kay Attorney Argusino na bahala ka na dyan?
Alam po ninyo, sa totoo lang, hindi ko matandaan ako yung nagsalita ng gano'n. Pero, kung ako man ay nagsalita ng gano'n, yung po'y ordinary po sa ating mga Pilipino. Halimbawa, nag-usap-usap tayo sa isang meeting. Ilan lang tayo. Tapos meron tayong gustong gawin. Hindi naman natin nakuha. Ulis ako. Bahala nga kayo dyan. Ganun lamang po yun.
Attorney
Walang
Argusino.
mali siya po doon.
Attorney Argusino, sinabi mo, narinig mo yun mismo, yung sinasabing indirect bribery offer. At sinabi mo rin, yung itsura na ni Secretary Aguirre ay na-insulto. So bakit nagpaiwan ka?
Your Honor, umalis na rin ho ako after 5 minutes.
Pero di ba, in that 5 minutes, dito po sa complaint affidavit ni Mr. Sumbero, paragraph 26, I returned to our meeting place and there, outside of the VIP room of High Street Cafe, Associate Commissioner Al reiterated his demand. Itong sinasabi niya dito, nung nakaalis na si SOJ, dahil nga pumunta na siya dun sa event. Correct? In the same hotel. I returned to our meeting place and there, outside the VIP room of High Street Cafe, Associate Commissioner Al, this refers to you, reiterated his demand and told me, quote, marami yan. May nakarating na offer na 37 pero hindi kami umano. Anong sa tingin mo? Magkano? I replied to him, hindi ko alam ang anong idea mo. Next paragraph, paragraph 27, he replied, referring to you, ikaw, what is your suggestion? I responded, wala akong idea. He replied, again, referring to you, pwede bang 100? I told him, sasabihin ko. You deny that? There was an exchange of this mention about certain amounts after, immediately after, your former boss left that place.
Yes, Your Honor, I denied that. Kasi, Your Honor, I just met Jack Lam for the first time. I just met for the first time yung dalawa pong interpreters. And it's only the second time na na-meet ko ho si Sumbero. So, coming from that 10-minute conversation, hindi ko ho maisip na the first words that would come into my mind is, magkano ang meron dito. Hindi ko po masasabi yun, Your Honor. 10 minutes lang po yun. And then parating nga po si Secretary Aguirre.
And yet, even after that, nakipag-meeting pa rin kayo that same night.
Yes, Your Honor.
And ilang oras hanggang umaga. And doon ang nangyari yung pagbigay ng una muna 2, then 3 bags, naging 5, umalis kayo, kitang-kita, dala nyo yung mga bags. So what was that? I mean, kakasabi nyo pa lang that your former boss exhibited some displeasure nung merong indirect bribery offer. Pero nakipag-meeting pa rin kayo after that supposedly brief meeting at the Siang Bonifacio Global City.
Actually, yun na nga po yung gusto ko po talagang malaman. Kasi bago ho ako kay Presidente Duterte, gusto kong malaman bakit ganito yung tema ng pag-uusap ni Wally Sumbero. Dahil si Wally po, product ko kasi ng, I'm sorry to say, Your Honor, product ko kasi siya ng previous administration. So, but I'm not accusing anyone, Your Honor. So, doon po ako nag-start na sabi ko, anong meron dito?
Alamin natin lahat yan kay Mr. Sumbero, ha? Ano yung mga ibig
salamat,
sabihin yan na mga matagal-tagal na walang padrino, etc. And then yung sinasabi mo na bata siya ng previous administration. Ingat kayo sa mga ganyang statement nyo, ha?
Wala
Now,
pa akong
next.
sinasabihan, Your Honor.
Okay, Secretary Aguirre,
Yes, Mr. Chair.
did I get you right nung sinabi niyo po kanina that the very first time that you learned about the extortion or alleged extortion activities of your two previous associate commissioners, BI associate commissioners, was December 9?
That was December 9 when I first met with Jack Lam when I went to the NBI. And at any rate,
Jack Lam or Sumbero?
Sumbero. May I read for the record, because Wally Sumbero, we were asking about him, texted me at 10:55 in the morning. And may I read for the record with the
That is
confirmation?
today?
That's today.
Today.
May I
Go ahead, please.
Sir, for the record, I'm watching the hearing. I have the same words as General Kalima texted you. I'm clearing you of any knowledge on this extortion scandal. I will be working on my best to attend the hearing. I already sent letter to Senator Gordon today. TY po.
Noted, but we will ask him again. As Secretary Aguirre, so September 9 nyo po, I'm sorry, December 9 nyo, first time ever na meron ngang extortion activities yung dalawang BI Associate Commissioner. Kasi yung una nyo pong siniwalat sa media ay yung tungkol nga dun sa indirect or yung implied bribery offer. Correct?
That's right po.
And therefore, wala kayong kaalam-alam dun sa yung supposedly nangyayari na mga whatever negotiation between them and Wally Sumbero until December 9.
Meron na po, before December 9. Kumakalat na po ang balitang mayroong nangyayaring ganun.
Pero,
But the first time I talked to Sumbero, in order to get it straight from his mouth, was December 9.
to Mr. Sumbero.
That's right.
But you never talked to General Kalima or to Commissioner Morente about it, considering
Actually,
that these two associate commissioners, former associate commissioners, were the various subordinates also, direct subordinates of Commissioner Morente.
We were texting with General Kalima. As a matter of fact, General Kalima has the record of our texts. He wanted to meet me, explain to me, because he said that I've been receiving so many unverified accusations against him. I said, yes, I'm going to meet you. But unfortunately, events overtook us, and so I was not able, unfortunately, to meet with General Kalima.
So it
I
was,
think I am also...
so it was not really a refusal on your part to meet with General Kalima. It's just that probably you did not have the opportunity to meet with him.
That's what I wanted to say, that it is not, as a matter of fact, the text, the phone records of General Kalima would show that I agreed to meet him, but events overtook us. And we were not fortunate to
I'll
meet.
Yes, before I pursue that line of questioning, I'll take the opportunity to take advantage of the presence of Mr. Mon Tulfo. December 8 was the supposed grant of the protective custody to Mr. Sumbero. There was a request, of course through you, that Mr. Sumbero be placed under NBI's protective custody. And it was on the very same day also that there was this conversation between and among the BI Associate Commissioners, nung una si Mr. Robles pa lang, with General Calima and then Commissioner Morente. Yun nga yung supposed confrontation. That's why General Calima felt constrained or compelled to call Mon Tulfo. Alin po ang nauna? Yung pag-surrender o yung pagpuntas sa NBI to be placed under preventive custody o yung pag-usap niyo po via speakerphone?
Even before I turned over Wally Sumbero to the NBI, I had a talk with him, a brief talk with him at my office. And then when he was already at the...
When was this, sir? When was this?
In the afternoon. I do not recall the date now, the exact date. But
that was before December 8?
Yes.
A few days before December 8? One or 2 days?
I cannot recall the date. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
But I did... I had a conversation with him before I turned him over to the NBI for protective custody. And then after he arrived at the NBI headquarters, I had another talk with him. And then I remember calling General Calima to verify Sumbero's statement about the extortion.
That was also before December 8?
I don't recall the...
You also don't recall, but it has to be before December 8 or on December 8 itself. It cannot be after December 8, correct?
I do not recall the exact date. I'm sorry. I don't remember dates, but I remember what I did.
There are insinuations coming from both former associate commissioners that General Calima, Sumbero, and yourself are trying to blackmail, or were trying to blackmail them in exchange for not proceeding with coming out with an expose. You're a media person, and you are known to be doing exposés, and I suppose that was your intention, that you're gonna expose the information that you got from both Mr. Sumbero and General Calima.
My intention in calling General Calima was to make verification on the statements of Wally Sumbero to me that there was extortion that happened.
So it was first Sumbero who told you about the extortion activities of these two associate commissioners?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you called General Calima to verify?
Yes, Your Honor.
And during that confrontation, General Calima was there, a commissioner was there, and the associate commissioner was there. It was sort of corroborative, further corroborative?
I didn't know that they were there. I didn't know that. I thought that I was just talking to General Calima.
When he called you on December 8th? Correct?
What I know is that I called him twice. First to verify, and then second to ask him why he didn't arrest on the spot the two BI commissioners after they received the 50 million pesos.
After they received. So on
Yes.
December 8th, you didn't know that when General Calima was talking to you via speakerphone?
I didn't know. I had no
You
idea.
did not know that you are being talked to via speakerphone.
I didn't.
And you didn't know that in that very moment, Commissioner Morente was there and so was Attorney Robles.
I had no idea.
You had no idea. So what exactly did you tell each other?
I told, first I told General Kalima, I congratulated General Kalima over the expose or the discovery of the extortion. And the second conversation to...
We're still talking about December 8th, Mr. Tulfo.
I cannot recall the exact date, Your Honor.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember calling General Kalima on the same date.
Did you tell General Kalima that you intend to expose
Yes, Your Honor.
the two commissioners you called in your column as rapacious?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mm-hmm. And General Kalima knew about that?
Of course, because I had a conversation with him.
Attorney Robles, nandun ka, di ba?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
So para bang, kaya nga confrontation kasi para bang dun sa'yo sinabi ni General Kalima na we have the goods on you.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Was that your impression? That there were the goods that General Kalima
It all started from...
had the goods on you?
Ang message po talaga na pinaparating in totality is that they can expose us because they knew of the videos and the recordings, and it started on December 1.
Videos and recordings. So obviously you're referring to two matters. Videos, I think, would refer to the CCTV footages.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And it cannot be within the contemplation or the purview of the anti-wiretapping law.
Yes, Mr.
You also
Chair.
mentioned recordings.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
So merong recordings.
Yes.
Sabi daw ni General Kalima.
Yes po.
Although General Kalima is telling us that style lang yon.
Yes po. Natural po. Yun ang sasabihin.
Totoo ba yung
violation.
sinasabi ni General Kalima sa kanyang complaint affidavit filed with the Office of the Ombudsman na nung ganun na, nung nalaman mo na kasama na pala sa picture si Mr. Montulfo because he intended to expose both of you, both you and Attorney Argusino, ay naglupasay ka daw?
Well,
Halos maiyak-iyak? And then you even uttered something to the effect na sira na ang karir ko. Would you confirm that?
Before I answer that, I would like to state first, Mr. Chair, that I'm not ascribing any aspersion against Mr. Montulfo. What I was saying is that General Kalima talked with Montulfo over the speakerphone, and yun nga ako pinipresent that ang balita na nakarating kay Mr. Montulfo was that nang-extort kami ng pera from Jack Lam. Now, with respect to the
your reaction. I need to know your reaction.
Yes, ayun po ang narinig ko. Takot na po ako nun because it started from December 1, yung pananakot po how General Kalima described it as he is operating on our fears. Noong December 8 po, yun na nga po, iniharap niya. Sabi nga po nakausap niya si General Sombero, and pinapakita niya how easily he can contact Sombero. And then nakausap din niya po si Mr. Montulfo na ang message po is, we will be exposed for extorting money from Jack Lam, whom I do not know. Si Sombero po, hindi ko rin naman na-meet. I went to the City of Dreams without thinking that there will be that kind of transaction, ma'am. So, hindi pa naman po ako naakusahan ng ganito ever in my life.
So you confirmed that reaction from you na talagang akala mo gumuho na yung mundo sa iyo?
Kasi po ang lalaking tao po nito nasa likod. I confirm that I could have said, but I couldn't remember the exact words that I uttered. Pero ang nakikita ko po is, kaya nga po ako na dun sa office ni Comorentes to help. I'm asking for his help para itong lista niya sabihin, bakit ginaganito ako? I do not know anything about this.
Mr. Chair, I'm being asked to wrap up, but just my last point for now. I hope the Chair understands that I still have
Exactly
a
2:55, we will finish. So that there will be 5 minutes for the rest to keep up.
Okay. Now, yung NBI po, you were asked to investigate by the SOJ, to investigate the alleged extortion activities when he discovered or learned about it last December 9.
That's right, ma'am.
So when exactly did you start your investigation?
Cannot remember the date, ma'am.
And then,
You must remember. You're an NBI director, you must remember when you started the investigation.
Your Honors.
Go ahead, please.
We started the investigating this case when we received a department order coming from the Secretary of
What date, please?
Justice, December 7. So that was the first department order.
are you
we
sure it's
received.
December 7? We just heard earlier the secretary saying that he learned about it December 9.
As per
I think, excuse me,
Secretary?
it is not very accurate. I said I talked to Somber on December 9, but I said I was hearing about, I've been hearing about this extortion or bribery try even before. We check our records. I think we submitted our memorandum order for the NBI to investigate about December
Mr. Secretary, how before is before?
December 8.
September 8.
Department order number 896.
And to the
December
effect,
8, December 8.
and what does the order say?
NBI Director Giran is directed to conduct investigation and case build-up to determine criminal liability or possible violation of laws in relation to the purported bribery or extortion as the case may be, by or against Jack Lam, by the Bureau of Immigration Commissioners, officials, employees, and private individuals in collusion with civil servants.
So in that particular department order, I'm sorry, Mr. Chair, in that particular department order directing the NBI to conduct an investigation, you were not really referring to both associate commissioners. It was sort of a general order for them to investigate.
We are just investigating. I could not point out in making this order to anybody. I said investigate everybody, all commissioners.
My standing question Mr. Secretary, was when exactly did you learn about the involvement or possible involvement of attorneys Argusino and Robles? That, and as you answered previously, earlier, that it was on December 9.
December 9, because I talked to Wally Sombero in the morning. I talked to the two commissioners in the evening of December 9.
So that's December 9. But
Both
you issued,
December
but
9.
you have, in fact, an earlier memorandum directing the NBI to investigate. When you issued that department order to the NBI, did you know already that those who are possibly involved in the extortion and bribery allegations are these two gentlemen?
No, because we are just investigating. Per Sombrero, it was the two commissioners. Per the two commissioners, when I talked to them in the evening, they said that they were being framed up by Sombrero and company. But on December 8, it is just, I'm just ordering the investigation. Otherwise, if I know already, then I will not longer anymore for the NBI to investigate.
It was a general order.
Precisely,
because of what you've been hearing.
Precisely, Your Honor.
Now, in the complaint, complaint filed by the NBI, we have been furnished, Mr. Chair, a copy of that, and this was filed only last January 27 before the Office of the Ombudsman, and you, in fact, recommended for prosecution not only the two former BI Associate Commissioners, but also the other personalities, General Zumbero, General Kalima, and Jack Lam. So, ibig sabihin, hindi nyo pinapaniwalaan pareho yung mga version ng dalawang kampo. Kasi meron din hong version sila General Kalima. Di ho ba? Na that was supposed to be a counter-intelligence operations with the clearance of Commissioner Morente. Unlike yung sinasabing efforts naman ni Attorney Argusino and Attorney Robles on their own to investigate, that was never cleared with anyone, let alone Secretary Aguirre. So ganun ho bang ibig sabihin nito? When you recommended for prosecution everyone, Argusino, Robles, Sumbero, Kalima, Jack Lam, maski yung version nila General Kalima, ay hindi nyo pinapaniwalaan na di umano ay counter-intel operations ang
I'm sorry,
ginagawa.
this will be the last question and we have to adjourn.
Ma'am, we were under you before as our Secretary of Justice. You know how the NBA operates. And there are reports from the media, from the grapevine, and others. But what is important to us is not basically the report from the grapevine, from whichever the report comes, but basically we deal primarily on pieces of evidence.
Pieces of evidence, correct.
Yes, ma'am.
And based on the pieces of evidence, it's your conclusion that there is probable cause to charge all of them because they're all in conspiracy. There was direct bribery, there was extortion. Definitely all these are also violations of the Anti-Graft, Corrupt and Practices Act.
You summarizes everything, ma'am.
I'm sorry,
Thank you,
I
Your
will
Honor.
assure the lady that the next hearing she will get the priority to continue her questions.
Thank you.
We will have our next hearing.
Thank you.
On the 9th. We'd like to finish this on the 9th February. Let all be under notice. We'd like to thank everybody for coming here today, senators as well as the witnesses, as well as the resource persons. Let it be a record also that we just got the NBI letter today at about 1:15. So we're getting it late. So the chair would like to admonish everybody that when we request for something, a document, please give it to us at least 2 or 3 days before the hearing so we can adequately prepare for it. PAGCOR, you have still to submit certain things. Same with the Commissioner of Immigration and many others. In the meantime, we'd like to thank you all, and this session is suspended until the 9th of February at 10 o'clock. Thank you all very much, and mabuhay ang Pilipinas.